welcome everyone with the VZWBuzz recap, where we give you a summary of some of the key tips and learnings of the Twitter chat so you don't miss a thing. And as you know, these recaps are going to live on the various sites that we have, and we will give you links so that you can listen to them or watch them at your convenience. Today's prize is this amazing Droid Slim Pack. Well, it's actually called, it's built for Droid, but it's called the Motorola Power Pack Slim 4000. And what's cool about this is that it's not only a battery booster, but it actually holds 2 full charges. How good is that? And so somebody is going to win this, and the way to win it is to post your questions. We're going to talk about some of the cool things we can be doing in the summer, and as you by the lovely Robyn Wright, coming from St. Louis. Hey, Robyn.
Hi, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome back. We missed you last week. I hope you had a nice holiday weekend.
That's right. We weren't here last week, and we didn't do we haven't done the next makeover, right? Which we're going to be doing next week. So that should be good. Misty is going to post for you guys the form that you can fill out if you want to be on the show and talk to us about a phone makeover. Okay, so feel free to jump on that link and send us your name, and we will pick you. And then what we'll do is we'll give you just a quick tutorial on how to get on this Hangout and ask you some questions and recommend the best smartphone makeover for you. Okay, so today, Robyn, we talked about this whole vacation and tech and how to use tech and how to not use it, all this other great advice as we explore the great summer and the outdoors. We talked a little bit about vacation planning, and I know there's some great tools for vacation planning. What can you tell us about the best ones in your mind?
There are. So you can start with your airlines. Actually, most of the airlines, they have vacation deals, and so go to their website, look for their apps. Most all of them have great apps now, and you can plan a vacation directly in there, get some good deals, use your frequent flyer miles, and then you can also, with that, it's going to keep track of all of your flight details. You can check in on your phone now. You don't have to go to the website or call or wait till you get to the airport 24 hours in advance. I always check in wherever I'm at before my flight, and then you can get a boarding pass from most places on your phone now too. There's no need to print anything out, which I love, 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 love. And a tip for that, take a screenshot of that boarding pass just in case you can't get a connection while you're standing in the security line or at the gate ready to board the plane. TripIt. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you were going to say, so your recommendation is the airline apps, which most airlines have for check-in, and you were going to talk about TripIt.
Right. TripIt is another good app that people seem to like. Oh my gosh, I always draw a blank when you ask me stuff like this.
Human? Is that possible?
Yeah, I do. Oh, Bing. I love Bing Travel, of course. You guys know I'm a Windows person, and so the feature I love about Bing and planning for travel is that I can put in where I want to fly, and it tells me, it gives me rates of all these different airlines, but it tells me if today is a good day or not to buy, and it gives me a percentage of how likely it is to go up or down in price, and I love that. It saves me a lot of money, actually. There are Kayak is another popular app that people use for travel.
Right, so those are great. So you have Kayak, and your airlines for sort of planning your travel. The only thing I will say about TripIt that has been a little confusing for me, although I know people love it, is that if I book travel for someone else, or someone else sends me their itinerary, for, if they're coming into town, all of a sudden my TripIt account has everyone's schedule. So I'm sure I'm not doing something right on my trial of that TripIt Pro app, so I got to figure it out. But I keep getting these reminders of flights that I am not taking, and it's been interesting as far as planning. One of the great apps for sort of this whole planning thing, say that something unexpected happens, And so it's good to be prepared. I love Hotel Tonight. It's been so great because you actually can get, for that night, say you need a hotel room that night, you can find 5-star hotels, all their excess inventory is put onto, this general, and you can find some great deals on the spot for that one day. So for those people that are not, obsessive about planning every single detail, and you may want to, just take a trip somewhere, and Hotel Tonight is really, I highly recommend it. What have you experienced any such apps for sort of hotels? I know that Foursquare.
I have it because I am a planner when I travel, so I like everything planned out well ahead of time. If I'm going on a trip for someone else, I want the itinerary right away because it drives me crazy. The one thing that I do use when I travel is Uber, which is if you're traveling and you need a car, and it's only in certain cities, but it's a great app to get, Uber, and instead of a taxi cab, you can get a taxi from them too, but you get a private individual, and it's usually a little bit less than a cab, and it's always clean. It's always, they're very nice and polite. The tip is built into the pricing, and so I find that really helpful when I travel. I've used that a lot this year.
Yeah, the Uber app has been great. You're right. People have been vetted, and so as you say, they're professional, they're nice, and the cars are clean. And you can choose from a range of services, from a taxi to a town car. So yeah, that's a great app too, getting in and out of airports and such sometimes, because you just do that right from your mobile device. Switching over to the whole idea of traveling with your smartphone, and you really want to be extra careful about planning if you're going overseas. So tell us a little bit about that, Robyn. What are some of the tips that you recommend that you would give people on traveling with your smartphone, particularly as you do, sort of talking about the global plans? Have you used that? Because I have.
I have not. I have not traveled globally recently. However, what Verizon has is a travel planner for if you're going on a cruise, that you're going to be in international waters, or if you're traveling globally. And it walks you through and it lets you know what you need. Now, you don't have to be a Verizon customer to go and look at this and use it. Hopefully Misty has that link and can tweet that out for us, or Geek Babe probably has it. But it will walk you through what you need. And Verizon has global travel plans too, so you can call them and get a plan while you're going to travel, because it is roaming. It's different than your regular rate plan that you have, but they have services for it. If you're not a Verizon customer, check with your local, whoever your carrier is. But we like Verizon, And
the Verizon plan, Tom Peters, who wrote this great book, In Search of Excellence, and has been, a voice for excellent customer service, recently tweeted what a great experience he had with Verizon on the global plan, and something went wrong while he was in New Zealand, I believe, and he called them and they sorted him out, not knowing who he was. It was just an incredible experience. Yes, so if you're traveling overseas, make sure you look at the plans, make sure you plan ahead. Regardless of the carriers, they're going to have some kind of international plan, and choose the one that's right for you. Some of the things we do is we choose some other apps when we're traveling overseas, so that if there's a need for a phone call, we can use Skype. Other alternatives that you can choose, so you don't end up, overspending on your cell bill if you're in Europe somewhere, or South America, or hopefully you're traveling to Mexico, which is a great place to go, which is where I'm going, actually. By the way, are you going somewhere this summer, Robyn, or you do more of a quiet time at home, go to the lake, that kind of thing?
We go to the lake. So we don't have any big trips planned for anywhere, although who knows, we may surprise ourselves and just take one. We don't know. It's hard. Hubby got a new job, so it's, he's not taking any vacation this year extended, so it would be a short. I wanted to say to you about traveling abroad is that the SIM cards may be different where you're traveling, the devices, the power switches and that, those all may be different for you. If you call or go into your local store, they can help you with that, and they have lists of who has what, and they'll be able to, if you need to use a different device. And I think some of them, they let you don't have to buy a full device. You can do rental things, I think, or a borrow kind of thing. I'm not sure exactly how that works. Monica, do you have any experience with that?
No, I'm sorry. I was looking at some of the questions while you were providing some of those tips. That I mean, usually for international plans, you know, they kind of look at what you're currently using, and then they give you some advice on what's the right thing to do. Was that along the lines of what you were saying?
It is. It is. The gist of it is that if you're going to take a cruise where you're going to be in international waters or you're going to travel abroad, please check with your provider on your phone, your chargers, your SIM cards, everything you're going to need before you go. And don't do it the day before. Go a couple weeks at least ahead of time.
Yeah, don't be like me and wait till 11:45. Your flight's taking off at 2. It's 1 o'clock, and you're calling them. Because sometimes there's a lot more questions that you can provide answered for them to give you a, you know, a good idea. And again, that's across all carriers. They'll all help you out, but plan in advance.
And if you are, so even if you're not traveling abroad, if you're going to be traveling and you think you're going to use your data more while you're traveling because you're going to be driving and you're going to be on your phones and tablets, the kids are going to be doing things, or even flying, you're going to have wait time at the airport, you can call your carrier and change your current data plan and just up it for a month, you know, and just go up to the next level, because it's actually cheaper to let them know ahead of time than if you go over your what you're set for already. So, and I've done that multiple times on my Verizon account. I know that I need more for whatever reason. I call them, I let them know, bump it up for a month, and then I go back down after I'm back, and that will save you some money too.
Yeah, this is true. This is true about all that in terms of planning ahead. Somebody had a question, a really good question I thought too, about keeping kids entertained in a 22-hour flight. I've done some of that. One of the things that's interesting, depending on the age, is that if you give them a little disposable camera to just record, document their trip from the moment, you know, you get to the airport, and then you also engage them into planning what are some of the activities they could be doing, a little reading, a little crafts, obviously a little screen time, some games. I find it's a great opportunity, you know, a cramped airplane, there's not a lot of places to go, to also have a good chat, you know, sort of bring books that you think might foster conversation, you know, if your kids are 6 and up, even 6 up to 17, and just try to, you know, do a variety of activities, bring lots of food. I found probably the most important thing on a flight. And as far as tech, you know, some of the games, and be sure to be powered up. Oftentimes we hear now that the TSA may not allow you to have devices that are not charged on planes. I'm not sure where that ruling is finalizing on. Robyn, do you have any information about that?
The last, what I heard, I believe it was yesterday that I heard, is that it's international airports. It's not here in the United States that I heard of yet, but that they wanted people internationally to power on their device before they would allow it on the plane, and if it wouldn't power up, they wouldn't let them on. So if keep that in mind, even if you're traveling domestically, just in case, you never know when they're going to change the rules on things. But the power up is good. Take a backup power pack with you. We talked about the Motorola Power Pack Slim 4000 that we're giving away today. There are several brands of them that you can find. There's something for every phone out there, and all price points as well. You know, the better ones are going to give you more time. The lesser ones are quick charge. Also, if the traveling on the airplane, download movies, music, content, because if you're on an airplane, you can't stream a movie even if they have Wi-Fi. They don't permit it. It's not, they block those access. So download your content beforehand before you get on a plane. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to see it.
Great. It's a great question on that guy Hugs, and I know he hugs because I've seen him. I've experienced, and it's good hugs, by the way. If you run into Jason Rocco and his Twitter handle, that guy Hugs, let him. The question is, what's the best way to deal with a lost or stolen phone while traveling? And I recently was talking about this with someone who's had this happen and yet was traveling with an unlocked phone, right? You know, when you can lock your phone, even that simple little 4-digit or motion code is going to save you a lot of heartache. Also, Verizon is offering, you know, total mobile protection, which we're going to talk a lot about in the coming weeks. And what that allows you to do, if you're on Verizon, is also allows you to wipe that phone clean. So if you're traveling anywhere, or even if you're in town and you lose your phone, I love that feature. So it has McAfee, that's free McAfee protection, but I believe it's for $10 a month. You protect your phone against a bunch of things, but mostly what I love, because maybe I'm a little spacey sometime, I've lost a couple devices in my life in the last year, that the idea that you can just wipe it clean remotely is absolutely so, it gives me such peace of mind that you really need to, you want to think about that, and that those extra $10 a month might give you some good peace of mind as far as that's concerned, because we carry everything in our phones now. ICE's mobile wallet, all of our banking apps, you know, obviously our contacts, many documents. So they're not just like a, you know, anymore a device we use for one or two things, right? They're like our lives. So
and
that would be
right. And Jason, you also want to use a cloud service to back up everything. So Verizon has their cloud. You get on the More Everything plan, you get 25 gigs per line, and that's going to back up all of this stuff. So if you do lose your phone, or if it is stolen, when you get your replacement phone, you just back everything back up onto your new phone from the backup in the cloud. Very, very handy to have. And I am bad about not locking my phone, Monica. I'm one of those people. I get on it too much, and I just feel it's annoying, and it takes too much of my time, but I should be better, especially when I travel.
So just think about every time you misplace it and say you don't know exactly where it is. Don't you think, I always think at that moment, I should have my locked key in there, and then I wouldn't panic quite to this extent.
I should. I don't go. Yeah, I have to know where my phone is all the time. So I freak out instantly if it's not there. Like if I haven't seen it in 2 seconds. So.
Also, a great thing to do in the summer, and I really encourage all of you to try it. It's almost like a dare. Okay, I'm going to challenge you all. Put the phone away. Just put it away. Try, if you're on vacation, try it for like half a day even, and see if you can go a whole day without your phone. You're with your family. What could you possibly need to be in touch with? Unless it's your camera and you need it for camera, which really you could also do a day without the camera. Try it, because I think that would be fascinating. I'm going to try that for a full day in August when I go to Mexico, and I'll report back. But I really challenge you to think about that. Think about that balance, right? So I want to hear back from all of you if you tried it. And in fact, we'll give a prize to the person that lasted the longest on vacation without checking your phone. We're going to use the honor system, so we're going to trust you to tell us that. But don't you think, Robyn, it's like a good exercise every so often? Just put it away?
Yes, it really is. So when I was at the lake, you know, there was times that I just went and sat outside on the deck, and I just was sitting there. My parents came up, and they're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Nothing." And they're like, "Well, is there something wrong?" "No." "Well, you're not even on your phone." "No, I'm just relaxing. I'm just enjoying this." And it kind of freaked them out because they're so used to me being on my devices and that. But it was nice I just listened to, you know, nature around me and stuff, and I looked around, and my eyes got a break from looking down. So it is nice to take a break.
It's so, seriously, just try it. We're gonna ask back at the end of August, at the end of the summer, see how long you went without checking your phone. And we will trust you. We'll do the honor system, as I said. So another question I like here is, if you need to purchase a phone overseas, will it work here in the U.S., or are they different? Robyn.
Monica, you're our overseas person. Some of them will. There are some phones that are global. Many will not. It just depends, and you want to look at the packaging and ask where you're buying. to see if it works. And if you're overseas, you can still call your carrier, because most of them are all global now, and ask them, hey, will this phone work when I get back to the United States? It's a great question.
Yeah, what we want to make sure you remember is that, you know, take a plan, use your tools to be connected, engage your kids. I tell you, this idea of the camera, the perspective of a child on a trip and the photos they take are absolutely hilarious. It'll just give you a completely different perspective of your vacation. You know, and make it fun, make it interesting. Find some educational tools, some educational apps. Verizon educational apps have some great choices by grade, by subject matter. There's a ton of them to check. Sesame Street, and also there's a couple of them Disney apps. So, you know, try to choose some variety while you're at it. On our final category here for just advice, Robyn, we want to talk a little bit about the home protection. What are some of the things that you can do to make sure you have peace of mind while you're traveling and your home's okay?
One of the neatest things, I think, are the connected accessories, things like the Belkin cameras and the Wemos, and there's several different brands of them. And what these do, these hook up to your home internet, basically. And the setup is pretty easy. It's a little bit different than what you might be used to, but I promise it's not hard. And then you have access via apps and websites, or on your tablet, on your phone, wherever. And you can see what is happening in your home with the cameras, with the things like the Wemo switches. You can turn lights and other things on and off wherever you are in the world. So it gives you a little more control. I know my camera, I can look into it and see it real time, and it even has night vision on it. I get my cats a lot is what I see. But it also has a setting, and I turn it on when I'm out of town, and it's motion activated. So if someone comes in, like my front door, I have one aimed at my front door, it snaps a picture automatically and emails it to me. So, I mean, those are great devices to have. Nest, your thermostat, you can control and let it know that you're not at home and it doesn't need to cool the house as much. And then a lot of the safety companies now, they're kind of, it's all bridging together. And that's what we're finding with everything, is everything is becoming connected, and we can operate everything from our little phones right now. So take advantage of some of those tools and set them up before you leave on vacation.
Yeah, and if you need power adapters, try to get those here. Try to get them before you get there. So I use power adapters for the UK, for Europe. In Mexico, the same power adapters work as in the US, same voltage. But yeah, check on your voltage as well. Excuse me, so that you have the right way to actually charge your devices while you're traveling.
Not at the airport. So airport vendors for electronics and adapters, oh my gosh, they cost so much.
Yeah, they're expensive there. There's a great question, which I think is going to be our winner. In fact, I think it's our winner. Right, Misty? Thank you. 25 gigabits of cloud storage is what she gets with the More Everything plan on Verizon. Does she have to use the Verizon Cloud app to access it?
Yes and no. So you're going to, to use it with your phone and that, or your tablet, you need the app on there to, I mean, that's how it automatically does things for you, and that's what's great about the cloud. But there's also web-based access, so you don't necessarily have to have it, you know, on everything. So I can do it from my desktop, from my tablets, from my phones, from my mom's computer, from, if I went to visit Monica, I could do it on her computer. So there is access everywhere, but the convenience of cloud, the automatic backup and that, is going to happen with the apps. So you do want to get the apps for that. And you control what is sent and what is not sent. So you really are controlling it. You don't have to worry about it just taking anything it finds.
Oh, okay. Your audio came out a little funky there. But no, that's okay. The answer is that, yeah, the cloud is really useful. Use cloud services to back up your data. Make sure that everything is in another place other than just your device, so that the dog was just licking my toe, so just want to make me look like this. All right, and our winner today is Billy. Congratulations. I don't think she goes by the name Carpe Diem, so I'm sure that's not the exciting. Congratulations. Thank you so much for your question. And for everyone else, don't forget that we have a chat every Friday. We have video chat, and we're going to make this available in case you want to listen to it later. And send us your questions. Please come to facebook.com/theonlinemom if you have any technology, lifestyle questions for Robyn, for Jean Parks, aka Geek Babe, or I, or the Tech Dad, and we will answer to you within 24 hours. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Robyn. Have a great weekend.
Bye. My cat says goodbye too.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you again. See you next week.
Peaches.